However, according to head coach John DiArco, there might be some light at the end of the tunnel, especially after last week's win over Ardsley.
I think Saturday's victory showed the guys that what they could do. I have a lot of confidence and faith in them. Some of them, a lot of them are juniors. We have a couple of sophomores, and I don't think they realize their potential. Saturday's win brought it out of them. Now, you know, you go out there, you work hard, anything can happen. Rye, they're the best. And as my former coach said to me, you want to be the best, you got to play the best, and that's what we want. Dino Garr is an excellent coach, and it's a privilege and a great challenge to play him, and we're looking forward to it. John, every day has been a challenge, has been an adventure. We've had days where we've had 15 or 16 guys at practice. We go on half a line. We've practiced with the JV, but I have to say, for the most part, and again, thanks to my coaching staff and our athletic director, Dom Cesari, we're hanging in there. And, you know, we might be down, but like I said, we're not dead, and, you know, there's still life in us.
Coach DiArco feels you can't beat a team of Rye's caliber with one big play or on a fluke. Consistency and a balanced attack will be the name of the game today for the Eagles. Not an impossible task, according to the head coach.
Yes, we can. Yeah, I told the fellas we've been working hard. During the week, we had double sessions on Tuesday, Election Day. We're having a night practice, and we're not going up there just to make it look good, keep the score close. We're going up there to win.
For John DiArco and his Eastchester Eagles, this season has been full of disappointments and some very major injuries. But after last week's win against the Panthers of Ardsley, Coach DiArco and his Eagles are looking forward to this game with Rye, their possible Super Bowl.
And with the realignment and one thing and the other, I really expected to be at this time going up there maybe 5-1 instead of or 6-1 instead of 3-4. But yeah, it's our bowl game, it's our Super Bowl, whatever. The win over Ardsley was nice, but you know, it's just a step, hopefully, towards beating Rye.
Well, there you have a brief look at the Eagles of Eastchester and their head coach, John DiArco. In just a moment after this short break, we're going to bring you back up to Rye High School for a preview of the Garnets and their head coach, Dino Garr, when the Cable 3 pregame show continues in just a moment.
While you were trying to decide between this copier and that copier and that copier and this copier, American Airlines landed a fleet of Savins. While you were trying to choose between one copier and another copier, Honda drove away with a fleet of Savins. And when you were busy comparing that copier to the other copier, the U.S. Navy sailed off with a fleet of Savins. Follow the leaders to Savin.
An important reason for my company's success is the fact that we do our homework.
1986 schedule and are looking for their second straight unbeaten season. Last year, Dino Garr, in his first year as head coach, took his Garnets to a bowl win over then unbeaten John Jay. This year, there have been some surprises for Coach Garr, but not unpleasant ones.
Well, surprised in the sense that we've done some things not as well as we'd like, and we've done some good things in a sense of a positive way. So, you know, we're a little surprised in that. As coaches, you always like to be surprised in a positive way. But we felt we had a pretty good team returning. We had a nucleus of good players coming back in skilled positions, except for quarterback, and you know, and he's just done a great job as a sophomore. So we feel pretty happy about it.
Last week, the Garnets garnered 410 total yards in offense against Woodlands and have put some more impressive numbers up on the board in their other wins against some pretty tough competition. Coach Garr, however, does see some room for improvement.
There always are. I think that we have to be consistent in our running game. I think that we run the play well one time, and then the next time we'll run, you know, a similar play or the same play, and we just don't do it as well as we should. And I think that just comes from you know, being consistent. Consistency is something all coaches want. They call it execution or whatever, but you know, that aspect of the game I think we have to be better at with running, and we've done a real good job lately on the passing aspect of it, but I think we can run the ball better. We'll be more consistent.
There's not a whole lot of teams around Section 1 that will trust the quarterback spot to a sophomore. They do it here at Rye, and it seems to be working, especially when you take a look at the numbers on the passing game.
Well, I think that comes with maturity, and I think the maturity is and the fact of the confidence. I think the Portchester game was a big confidence level for the sophomore quarterback. We always had the receivers, and I think Steve has done an outstanding job even from the first game. I'm talking about Steve Reebling. But I think that Portchester game where we had to throw the ball and they knew we were throwing and we still completed some passes. And then after that, feeling that I'm sure that he's mature enough to understand the offense a lot better. I think that we're going to throw the ball now, and we try to keep that equal balance. The idea equal is a little bit tough, but a good mix. But we're very fortunate. We've got some good kids that, they're not kids, the young men. They come in and know their roles, and they step in and do a real good job. When Joey's hurt, Sal Giglio and Scott Newman and Chris Swinson and Jerome Kenny, we're really fortunate in our backfield.
Well, Dino Gar, we should also tell you, does have another bit of a streak going here on Cable 3. Since his days as head coach at Westlake and now here at Rye, Dino Gar is a perfect 6-0 whenever he appears here on the Cable 3 High School Football Game of the Week. And right now, his team is set to go. A very big and traditional rivalry. As we told you, it's raining. It has been raining steadily all afternoon long, and we hope you'll stay with us. Straight ahead, as we continue with the Cable 3 High School Football Game of the Week, we have for you game number 8. The Eagles and the Garnets about set to have at it. We'll have the opening kickoff when we return in just a moment. Along with Ray Karowski, nice and dry, I'm able to say, very thankfully, as we get set for the game of the week. The Eastchester Eagles coming in at 3-4 on the season, and they'll be taking on the Rye Garnets, and they have a perfect mark of 6-0-1. As you see, the Scattered Braves who have joined us on a wet and somewhat cold afternoon here at Rye High School. But this should be a big game, as we mentioned in the pregame show, with the field being muddy. Could be indeed the great equalizer. Joe King getting set to kick it away, and this ball game is underway. It's a squib kick. Comes up to the Eagles at the 20-yard line, and right up the middle of the field they go, and down across the 35-yard line to the 33 as the ball comes loose, but it will belong to the Eastchester Eagles, and they will have it 1st and 10 from there. Let's take a look at the starting offensive unit for the Eastchester Eagles. And leading the way at quarterback will be a sophomore, number 3, Butch Burrows. He's 6 feet, 170 pounds, and he is the 3rd quarterback that John DiArco has had to use. We'll show you the rest of the starting unit in just a moment after this first play. Eastchester has it 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. And Burrows on the very first play gives to Robert Wooten, number 42, the big fullback. He's a senior, 5'11", 195. And Wooten gets it up close to the 40-yard line, right across it. A pickup of 2 yards for Wooten. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Here's the offensive unit for the Eagles. Burrows is the quarterback, Wooten the fullback, Matt Galbelli will be the tailback. The halfback is Paul Petrillo, and the split end is number 10, Joe Pinto. On the offensive line for the Eagles, Ralph Fusillo, Guy Filecto, Joe Valente, Jason Kaplan, Craig Papalardo, and the tight end number 90 is Bill Sabatino. 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles. Ball at their own 41-yard line. First pass of the day, and it's complete to number 82, John DeAngelica for the Eagles, and a completion up to the 45-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. Defensively for the Rye Garnets, they will have for us the 4-man front, Nick Stavarage, Scott Johnson, Roy Haney, Gunnar Huber on the line, and the middle linebacker is Tom Cottaspati. We'll show you the deep backs after the next play. And it is 3rd down and 3 for the Eagles. Wooten and Petrillo are the setbacks behind Burrows. And going to the tailback, number 40, Matt Galbelli. Galbelli able to pick up 2 yards, what will be short of the 1st down call. And it'll be 4th down. The deep backs for the Rye Garnets in the ball game. Mark Surhoff and Tommy Armas, the 2 outside linebackers. Mike Bach and Alex Wicklund are the corners, and the safeties, Chris Quinson and Colin Hyde. So it is 4th and 1 for Eastchester, and Robert Wooten sets back to punt the football away with no score and 9:55 left to go in the 1st quarter. Rob Wooten, a senior. And Eastchester's going to go for it. Burrows, they'll pitch it back to Wooten on a quick kick, but Joe King was deep. He fields it at his own 30-yard line, now looks to come up the middle of the field. Penalty marker goes down, as does King, at the Rye 40-yard line. And we'll check out the penalty marker and get the call as the Garnets will go on offense, 1st and 10.
John, the quick kick was a very good call, because what happens, you don't have to snap it back 10 or 15 yards. There's the kick. Joe King, number 7, gets hit by 3 men from Eastchester. It's a good call because the ball is being exchanged from the center to the quarterback, and then all he does is just pitch it back to the tailback who punts it.
15-yard penalty holding against Rye. They're first, so that'll drop them back a bit, and it'll be 1st and 10 now from the 25-yard line. Offensively, for the Rye Garnets, unbeaten at 6-0-1, Steve Riebling is the quarterback. A sophomore, he wears number 10, 6'1", 160 pounds. And the backfield, and we have a timeout taken on the field by Eastchester. They weren't quite ready for that opening, so that'll be their first. There's the rest of the backfield for the Garnets. Chris Quinson is the fullback. The tailback is Joe King. The wingback is Tommy Armas, and the split end is Mark Surhoff. On the offensive line for the Eagles, Mark Weintraub, Gunnar Huber, Brian O'Mara anchors it at the center spot. Tom O'Leary's at a guard, and Tom Cadaspati will be the tackle, number 52. While we have the timeout, we can continue to run right through, show you the defensive set for the Eastchester Eagles at 3-4 on the season. And defensively for Eastchester, they have the 5-man front. Rob Wooten and Billy Sabatino are the 2 ends. Joe Valentine and Craig Papalardo are the tackles, and the nose guard is Jim Scanlon. Sabatino, incidentally, defensive end, scored a touchdown on a fumble recovery that beat Ardsley a week ago. And the D-backs for the Eagles. All right, we'll get to that in a second. As Rye comes up 1st and 10 now from their own 25-yard line with 9:28 left to go in the first quarter. Riebling has done an excellent job for Dino Gar as the sophomore quarterback. Can throw and run. And they'll put it on the ground right off the bat. Sal Giglio, number 32, the senior tailback, with the call, and he gets just 1 yard, and it'll be 2nd down and 9. Now the deep-backs for the Eastchester Eagles. Matt Gavelli and Paul Petrillo will be the linebackers, along with Jimmy Handel. Mike Salvatore and Mickey Morgan on the cornerback spots, and the deep-back number 82 is John DeAngelica. So 2nd down and 9. We've seen 1 pass already. That's not too surprising, though, is it? I know you coaches like to put it up early in games like this.
Well, it was a safe pass. It was to the flat. It was a look pass where the wide receiver will just go out about 4 yards, stop, turn, look to the quarterback, and catch the ball. Now, the last play that Rye ran, Robert Wooten, number 42, was in there and made a beautiful tackle. And I think that this game is just going to be fundamentally football. It's going to be, running from tackle to tackle, nothing fancy.
Riebling, play action, wants to throw, little outlet pass. He completes it to Tommy Armas. Armas turns the corner and brings it up to the 42-yard line, and that looks to be good for a Rye 1st down. Their first of the ball game. And indeed it is good for a 1st down, a pickup of 10 yards on the catch.
Okay, here we have a pass into the flat again. There's a beautiful, well-thrown ball. There's Armas out in the flat, good reception. As a matter of fact, all the receivers for Rye are good. Their passing game is much better than it's ever been before in previous years.
1st and 10 from the 38-yard line of Rye. The Garnets with the football. No score in the first quarter. Bouncing off the tackle is Sal Giglio again. And Giglio gets it close to the 45-yard line. They'll spot it at the 44. That'll be a pickup of 5 yards. And it will be 2nd down. They're giving them now 8 yards.
Now here's the play. It's an I formation, isolation. What they're doing, the fullback is going up. That's Quinson. And he's making a block on the linebacker. And then the tailback will just run behind him. It's like a double team on the line, and then the backs are blocking the linebacker.
2nd down and 2. Maybe a down Dino Gar can play with here at the 45-yard line. They'll go to the ground game. Giglio gets it again, breaks away from the tackle. Ball is loose on the field, and the Eagles have recovered. The second effort by Giglio is what really hurt him, and it's a tough thing to say. But if he had gone right down, the Garnets would have had a 1st down and the football. But with the second effort, as you are about to see, Rye coughs it up.
Now here we go, isolation again. Beautiful run, hit, spin. Oh, what a beautiful hit right there. Number 58, that's Jim Scanlon coming up with the fumble recovery.
So Eastchester has it right at midfield. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles with just under 8 minutes to play in the first quarter, and we have no score. Burrows brings the club up. Wooten comes in motion to the near side. Burrows, penalty markers down. Burrows is in trouble, and down he goes. Sliding tackle made by the Garnets, and I believe that's Tommy Armis, number 14, who came flying across. Armis makes the stop, a loss on the play, but there is a penalty marker, and it looks like it'll go against the Eagles.
Armis is the outside linebacker. Now there's Butch Burrows, the quarterback, tripped up right there by Armis, coming across. In other words, the outside linebacker, when he sees that quarterback coming to him, that's a signal for that outside linebacker to go get the quarterback. The outside linebacker's rule is, ball comes my way, I go.
All right, as you can probably tell, it's going to be a long afternoon. A legal procedure call against the Eagles' decline, and of course the Garnets defense is going to take the sack. A loss on the play back to the 42-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 18.
Out here, Arvis, get out! He's moving again!
There's a long snap count. Back to the ground game. Hole opens up off the middle as Tommy Armis, number 14, comes in to make the tackle, as they gave the football away to Matt Gabelli, the tailback, number 40. Pickup of 7 yards.
Now here's the play. It's an isolation off left tackle, picks up good yardage. Now Rye's defense, they're using a 4 front, and you'll also see him in a 6. It's an even defense, and Dino Gar is mixing it up, trying to catch the offensive line off guard and get them confused in their blocking assignments.
Ball loose on the turf. Burrows picks it up. Tommy Armis dumps it behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1 yard on the play, and it'll bring up 4th down and 12. And that means the Eagles will be forced to punt the football away again.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. That ball is in the middle of the field. It's wet, it's muddy, it becomes like very slippery, like there's oil on it. So like I said in the pregame show, the exchange between the center and the quarterback, you have to be careful. The quarterback's going to have to sit there behind that center just a 1/10 of a second longer to make sure he has that ball.
All right, again, Burrows comes up to center. Wooten is deep at his own 40-yard line. Same play, they'll flip it to him. No rush at all. An end-over-end kick. Joe King takes it at his own 30-yard line. Hole opens up the middle, and King will finally go down at the 38-yard line. So Rye will have it, their second possession of the day. This time from the 38 with exactly 6 minutes left to go in quarter number 1. A scoreless ball game thus far.
That's fundamentally sound. You see how King calls for this ball? He always wants the ball to be caught in the air. You don't let the ball bounce on the ground. Beautiful. Fundamentally sound. That's good football, catching it in the air.
All right, the Garnets come up 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Both teams using sophomore quarterbacks. The pitch comes out to Gilio. Able to turn the corner. Close to the 45. It'll be spotted at the 43-yard line. And for Rye, a pickup of 3 yards.
Okay, Giglio, that was a pitch to the tailback to the, what we call the clear, the good side of the field. There's the pitch. Now Giglio's coming around the end. Now he's got good footing. It's wet out there, but the grass gives you that traction a little bit. And they're not running into the middle of the field because that's where you might slip and slide. I wouldn't be surprised if this is off tackle to the right or again to the right outside perimeter.
It is 2nd down and 7. And this time they try right up the middle to Tommy Armis. And Armis gets a couple of tough yards. Pickup of 2. And it'll be 3rd down and 6 as we have an injured player on the field. Here you get a look from the backfield. Armis at least seemed to be a little tentative in the backfield, handing it off.
Well, we want to be sure that they get the ball. You have to, you know, it's not going to be as quick and sharp as you would like it on a clear day. So you want to make sure that the ball is right in the hands of the back, and you may have to look it in and really keep it there, the quarterback, and make sure that it's in the stomach so that he has it. If you start just handing the ball off and then you start going through your fake, and it may be just a little bit too early, and may cause a fumble. So they're playing with a little caution out there. It's not quick in the backfield, but again, it all boils down to the line right here. I mean, they're firing out, and this is where you know, they're going to get muddy, but they love it.
All right, you saw Paul Petrillo leave the field under his own power. I'm sure we'll see him a little later on, number 30. Line out faced with a 3rd down and 6. And a patented Dino Guard trademark. We saw this countless times last year, especially in the Harrison game. It's the delay count and then shifting by the line, and that draws the defense off sides for a quick 5.
Yeah, when the offensive line comes up, John, once they're down, their hand is down, they're not allowed to move. But the ends can. They can put their hand on the ground, then stand up and move out.
And lo and behold, the penalty has been called against the Garnets. And Dino Gar is coming out. He's called a timeout. So Rye is used there first. And Dino is on the field and is going to discuss with the crew what exactly is the call. And as we mentioned, we saw that all last year, and it always went against the defense.
Yeah, now as a coach, John, you have a right to call a timeout. That's what you call a conference. You're having a conference with the officials, and it is a charged timeout to your team. Now, he wants to know exactly what happened, because the ends can get down, put their hand on the ground, they can stand up and move out.
All right, let's see maybe if we can listen to what's going on down on the field. You can't really hear too much. Just a lot of arguing going on between the crew. Give us an opportunity to tell you who'll be working today's game. We've already made a bit of news as we get started here early. David Binhack is our referee. Harry Barber is the umpire. Jack Leonardo is the lineman. And our favorite field judge is here today, Jim Ritz of Mount Vernon. Real good friends with his son, Ronnie. He used to be the sports information director over at Iona College.
Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, I think all the officials are from Mount Vernon.
Probably right.
What the hell you talking about?
All right, so Dino Gar not a policeman at all, as the call went against the Garnets. And they lost 5 on it, so it is now 3rd down and 10. As Gilio will come back into the ballgame, number 32.
No,
I had enough already. In 2 minutes, I had enough.
I'm going to favor to call that Dino Gar. I mean, he's correct. The ends can go down, they can get up, and they can move out. That's what you call an end shift, and he's right. You can do that. That's in the book.
So 3rd and 10. Gilio comes in motion to the near side. Riebling, straight drop back. Timing pattern down the sidelines. It's complete, but it's out of bounds. Jim Ritz right down on the play, and he says that Gilio did not have it in bounds. So the pass goes as incompletion, and Rye's going to be forced to punt it away. Defense is playing tough for Eastchester early.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's a hard-hitting game. I mean, Eastchester came in there, they're fired up. They're looking for an upset. This is their bowl game. And they figure, like Coach Giraldi said, he's the assistant coach taking care of the backs and receivers, that if we can upset Rye, it'll be the biggest upset since Saunders upset Roosevelt 2 years ago, Thanksgiving Day.
Quick pitch to Joe King. He gets off a beauty. Robert Wooten fields it at his own 27-yard line, gets 1 block, cuts it up the middle of the field, and goes down at the 35-yard line, and another penalty marker is down.
So we have 2 flags, 1 at the line of scrimmage.
Flag back at the line of scrimmage, and then another one at the tackle. And take another look at it.
It's a beautiful punt. A nice spiral. There he is. It might be a return up the middle. There's no hole. It goes to the outside, comes back up into the middle, and he's tackled. I didn't see any piling on there. Now, the flag down here, I don't know what it could be, but they're having a little conference out there. They're talking to the Eastchester captain. That has to be Jason Kaplan. He's one of the tri-captains. Roy Howard is the tri-captain. And last week he was stepped on his foot. He has a bone bruise. Very difficult to push off, drive, running, carrying the ball, or even playing defense. So they're going to miss Roy Howard this afternoon.
All right, the penalty is going to be marched off against Eastchester. And it is a 15-yarder. As the ball comes back to the 16-yard line.
A clipping penalty against Eastchester.
Clipping the call against the Eagles. And Eastchester will now have it 1st and 10. And the ball will be spotted at the 16-yard line. 4:07 left to play in the first quarter, and we have no score.
Okay, now the ball's in the middle of the field. They have Greg Pappalardo, 6'2", 230 pounds. They may come right over his head.
Gabelli with the call, and he is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage.
And they did. They came right over Pappalardo, but the Rye defense, I mean, they're reading very well. They're not really penetrating. They're not blitzing the linebackers. They're just hitting, controlling their man. They're reading where the ball is. They're pursuing. They're just like a rat pack. They just come right at you. You know, you get a team that allowed only 19 points in 7 games. You know, that's like a rat pack. They come right at you. They bite you. They hurt you and everything. That's the best defensive team in Section 1.
Second down and 11 now. Loss of 1 on the last carry. And again, the Eagles content to keep it on the ground, but they're not having too much success.
Okay, you see that, John? Everyone in the Rye defense was in on that tackle except 3 guys. And those were the defensive backs.
Gabelli with the call, and he picked up 2.
Tough defense.
Oh, it is.
They're really...
Third down and 9 now for Eastchester. Rye has only 1 first down in the first quarter. The Eagles are still looking for their first. We are scoreless with 2:41 remaining to play in a scoreless first quarter. Raining here at Nugent Stadium. It has been raining all day, sometimes rather heavy. And the middle of the field is a mess. Ball is loose, and it belongs to the Garnets. Tommy Armis, number 14, plops right down in the mud, and the ball is underneath him at the Eastchester 19-yard line.
See, this is what you have to do. You have to make things happen. Right here, here's the snap. There's the fumble right there. Never even got to the back. Okay, you can see Butch Burroughs, as he was going to the back, he slipped. As he slipped, the ball came loose. But again, that Rye defense, they make things happen. They're in a good position here now. If they go in for a score, they're going to capitalize on this mistake. That Eastchester defense is going to have to get tough right here and stop the run. They're going to be very careful to pass, too. Their passing game is excellent for Rye.
Surhoff is flipped to the top of the screen. Riebling flips it out to Gillio, looks to turn the corner, does so, gets it close to the 16-yard line, where that is a pickup of 3 yards. And it'll be second down and 7 for the Garnets.
Second and 7.
Ball now at the 16-yard line, 1:45 left to go in the first quarter.
This is a good call right here. There's a pitch to the tailback. There he's going. See, he's running on the good part of the field. He has some traction on the grass. They only get into the middle of the field because of the mud. I wouldn't be surprised if they come back in the same play.
There it is. Gillio again. Armis is the lead blocker. Bounces off of a tackle. Stays on his feet. A great effort. And finally goes down at the 5-yard line. An excellent individual effort by Sal Gillio. And another injured Eagle is down on the turf. And whoever it is, he lost his helmet on the play.
Now look at Giglio right here. Same play to pitch. Boom, he gets hit. Boom, again, he's on his feet. They're driving him, pumping. He's got good balance. He smells the goal line. He wants that score. Good leg drive, tremendous power, not going down. And they're a winning team. They're like a championship team. They're going to find a way to win. And they're going to just drive and pound and twist and keep their balance, spin, get to that goal line. Number 42. 42, that's Robert Wooten.
His helmet came off, and he was still involved in the tackle even without the helmet on. So he's being helped off the sidelines, but is going off on his own power. But that a 12-yard run by Gillio, and sets up a first down for Rye, a first and goal from the Eastchester 6-yard line with 1:23 remaining to play in the first quarter.
I think it's going to just be fundamental, basic power football taking it in here.
It's Gillio again to the outside and can't shake away from the tackle as he goes down to the 4-yard line. Holding on to the for dear life, trying to keep away the touchdown, number 24, Mickey Morgan.
Yeah, now Mickey Morgan, now watch this, watch him, watch Giglio run right there. Mickey Morgan right there, you see right on the leg. That's what you have to do. You have to get his legs, stop the legs from pumping and driving. Mickey Morgan's only a sophomore. He's playing offense, defense, specialties. He's going to be a great ball player in the future for Eastchester.
2-yard pickup for the Garnets, 2nd and goal from the 4. This is Joe King, and King is down to the 1-yard line. It almost looked like he expected to be popped at the line of scrimmage and kind of lunged forward. If he was able to keep his balance, he might have gone in. But in any event, he is down to the 1.
Now, John, right here, you're so close. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a quarterback sneak. This way, you don't have any fumble. The ball just comes right to the quarterback and straight ahead. And you tell the guards, the offensive guards, to pinch in to the center, and you form like a wedge, and you drive them out. The defense has to stay low.
Joe King in the air, and he is in. The referee on the far side has signaled touchdown, while the official on the near side says it is 4th down. And it is a touchdown. A 1-yard run by Joe King. And with just 4 seconds left to go in the first quarter, Rye is on the board first.
Joe King catapult over the line. He just ran to the line. You take off with the explosiveness in your legs. You die over and you break that plane. Once you break the plane, the goal line with the ball, it's a touchdown.
Well, Tommy Armas and Joe King setting up for the extra point. King is the kicker, Armas is the holder.
Tommy Armas will hold.
Or the extra point attempt. Ball is down, kick is away, and off the side of his foot, and wide to the left-hand side. So with just 4 seconds remaining to play in the first quarter here at Nugent Stadium, the score now, Rye 6 and Eastchester nothing.
That Joe King is some athlete. He can play tailback, halfback. He's a wide receiver, split end. He could be a flanker, slot man, everything. He's so versatile, a great athlete, and he does it all. He'll kick extra points, field goals. And I said, John, remember in the pregame before the season we had a show, I really felt that Joe King was like a most valuable player because of his versatility. And then now we come here, it's the 7th game, and he's doing so well, 8th game, and he's making me look good for what I said. So thank you, Joe.
You also said this is the year of the quarterback, throw for 6 and 86.
And I also said that Roy Haney, the defensive tackle for Rye, is going to be a great ball player, and he is a Division I prospect. But I would think that if he is recruited, that the coaches at a Division I school would make him a center. And at 6'1", 250 pounds, that's not bad size for an offensive center.
King with a line drive kick, and we have a penalty marker on the play. That's going to mean that Rye is offsides on the kickoff. Somebody crossed the 40-yard line before King hit the football, so that'll be another 5-yard penalty against the Garnets, and they will have to re-kick this one from the 35-yard line.
You know, Gunnar Huber for Rye is a 3-year starter. He's got to be a great ball player. He's a guard and a defensive end. So you know that when they're going to run the ball, they're going to go behind Gunnar. And then they have a 2-year starter, Mark Weinfarb. He's a senior, 6 foot, 200 pounds at tackle. So what I'm trying to say, it's a senior-oriented team. They've been together. They work hard. They're hungry. They won victory. They're undefeated. You know, it doesn't end here. It just keeps going. But
as a matter of fact, they have what we believe to be the actual longest winning streak, active streak now in Section 1 at 17 games.
That's
they were
right.
9-0-1 a year ago, and right now 6-0-1.
That's right, John. They are. Now, Eastchester's playing good hard football. They're going to have to just keep at it because, you know, a fumble, they can have a good drive, and they can tie this game up.
It's another roly-poly kick, comes up to one of the upbacks for the Eagles, and he breaks away from everyone and goes across the 50 down to the 44-yard line of Rye. John DeAngelica with the football, or Mickey Morgan, I believe that is. It is number 24.
Yeah, that's the sophomore.
And Morgan brings it all the way across. And that's going to do it for the first quarter here at Rye Stadium. We're going to take a short break, and when we return to more of the game of the week, the Eagles are going to have it 1st and 10 in Rye territory with the Garnets leading by a score of 6-0. School football game of the week, and at the end of the first quarter of play, it is Rye 6 and Eastchester nothing. And the touchdown coming off on a fumble recovery by the Garnets deep in Eagle territory. And Joe King finished it up with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Out there talking to the Eastchester offense is Bill Giraldi. Now, he was a quarterback, played for me, and his first year as a coach was when Eastchester went and they won the bowl game against Brewster. I mean, that's a good way to start off. And then Eastchester has Tim Bonsi, Harry Milano. Their coach, Joe Lucci, is the assistant coach. He works with the backs. Tony Frazzillo is the offensive coordinator. They have all the ball players that either played for me or they played for Eastchester.
So from the 44-yard line of Rye, the Eagles with great field position open it up 1st and 10. And Burrows with his first pass attempt of the day, and he completes it all the way down to the 30-yard line. And making the reception for the Eagles, number 80, and that's Mike Salvatore.
And there's motion.
For the first down
Now,
for
Butch Burrows
Eastchester.
draws back. Beautiful pass right there. There's a beautiful catch. Well thrown ball, executed. He concentrated the ball right into his hands. Comes up. You see, they're not giving up. Even though they're down by 6 points, they're not giving up. They're staying into this ball game. They're motivated. They have this desire to win.
At the 30.
Their first down of the ball game. They have it at the Rye 30-yard line, right up the middle again. This time it goes to Robert Wooten, number 42, and Wooten able to get it right back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from there.
The middle of that line of Rye is tough. From tackle to tackle, it's going to be difficult. You can't really have trap plays. There's motion. They're right to the fullback. The hole is clogged up. There's nowhere to go. It's hard in this kind of weather without getting your footing to have a good trap play because the man has to really pull out quickly, have the traction, hit the man, dig him out to create the hole. It's going to be difficult running up the middle.
Loosen up, Mark! Loosen up!
2nd down and 10. Burrows again, straight drop back. Lost the handle as he tried to get the football away, and it falls incomplete. Just in front of the intended receiver, John DeAngelica, number 82.
That's that look pattern right here where John will just go down 4 yards, turn around, look to the quarterback, get the ball. What they're doing, Eastchester's putting the man in motion to the right, and then they're throwing left.
3rd and 9.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Eagles with 10:56 left to go in the 2nd quarter. Rye leads 6-0.
The ball is slippery.
Salvatore split to the near side. Burrows gets good protection, throws towards the sidelines, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted by Joe King. And if he picks that one up, he goes the length of the field. Mike Salvatore, the intended receiver.
See, that's a dangerous pass right here because you go into the flat to the opposite side. That's the wide side of field. Now, that ball takes a long time to get there. Joe King almost had it. You see Mike Salvatore get hit right after that.
What a pop that
Once
was.
that ball is touched, you know, you can clean someone's clock after that.
And that's exactly what they did all the way down to the mainspring.
And that's what you want to do. You want to clean clocks once in a while so that next time he goes out for a pass, you know, he hears footsteps.
Right. So Eastchester looks like they will go for it on 4th down from the 30-yard line. This is Wooten in motion. And Burrows again, straight drop back. Heavy pressure, throws it up for grabs, and it is incomplete. Threw it towards the sidelines. It looked like DeAngelica was his intended receiver, but he brought it back to the inside of the field. So it goes as an incompletion, and Rye will get the ball on the change of downs. 1st and 10 from their own 30.
See, the Rye defense is coming very hard on that last play, and that to me is the best pass defense. You apply pressure. I watch these pro games sometimes. I see them have a 3-man rush. You know, that's their pass defense. You got to apply pressure. 4 or 5 guys, set them. Get that quarterback, you know, to release that ball a little bit earlier. Now, pro football's like a volleyball game on a 100-yard field. They're pass and pass and pass. This is what you like. You like the blood and guts, the running game.
This is Tommy Armis in motion. And getting the football for the first time in today's ball game, Chris Quinson, number 44, the big fullback. And Quinson picks up 3, and it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Chris Quinson is a devastating ball player on his right team. He's a leading well, look at him run right up the middle. He's the leading tackler on a team. Now, I'm talking about a first or a second hit. He has over 100 of those so far. I mean, he's in everything. He's got quick feet. He has that desire, the knack, the nose for the ball. He's great ball player that quits it.
2nd and 7. Riebling hands the football away.
Jerome Kenny, the ball
Jerome
carrier.
Kenny, number 42, with the call. And Kenny gets 1 yard, and that's it.
See, those linemen are playing tough in there. The linemen are tough. There's the shot of the line right there. They fire out, they're coming, they're all dirty. That might have been Jose Valentin on that tackle. I can't see any numbers. You have Papalardo's in there.
Rob Wooten made the
You have
stop.
Jason Kaplan, Scanlon. They're playing good, tough defense. They came here to play good, hard football. That's their reputation. Eastchester are hitters.
Armis in motion. Riebling with the play action. Down the sideline of the field, incomplete. Intended receiver was Joe King. Give a lot of credit to the sophomore. He puts that ball where if it isn't caught, it's not going to be intercepted.
Yep, that's a sideline pattern. It's a play action, a little fake, just to hold linebackers there. He's throwing it right to the sideline, and the receiver's coming down, and he'll catch it right there, maybe a foot away from the sideline, get the reception, and streak down into the end zone. You got to pinpoint that pass. It's got to be right there. You got to work on it. You got to practice it all the time.
So it is 4th down. The pitch to King. He slips as he kicks it, and the ball is loose. That's a live ball. Robert Wooten finally gets a handle, slips away from one tackle, but he will go down at the 33-yard line.
You see, that's what I was talking about. You have to catch that ball on the fly. You can't let it bounce around. You have to go get it. Once it bounces, it may go to the right or to the left. It goes between your legs, you may lose it. When you're practicing, as a coach, you tell them, catch the ball on the fly.
9:07 remaining to play in quarter number 2. The Garnets leading the Eagles 6-0 on a 1-yard touchdown run by Joe King in the final seconds of the first quarter. Eastchester has the football again. This is their 5th possession already in the game. Butch Burrows, the quarterback, just a sophomore. Wooten comes in motion to the near side. Burrows again drops back. Little sideline route, and it's completed. Joe King makes the tackle, but making the reception, Mike Salvatore, number 80. And Salvatore up to the 39-yard line, pickup of 5 yards.
Mike had a beautiful reception on this. It's into the nice side of the field where you have some traction. There's a sprint out pass. Now Mike comes up, he's concentrating on the ball. Good reception, makes it, and a tackle's made. Now you can't run too well against the right defense. You have Haney, Johnson in there, Stravides. No, they're tough defensive line. The passes are working for Eastchester into the flats.
2nd and 5. This is Gabelli, and he pulls his way forward very close to a first down as the ball looks to be spotted at the 44-yard line, making the 44.5, and that's good enough for the first down. Pickup of 6.
Okay, here's the handoff right here off left tackle. Gabelli's running hard. He's only a junior. Coach DiArco has 16 ball players. They'll be back for next year. Gabelli's a good hard runner, power. He'll try to run over people.
Tom Cottaspati, the middle linebacker, made the stop, but Eastchester with a 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line.
Good job.
Looks like Robert Wooten with the call.
Rob Wooten carry.
It is nearly impossible at this point to pick out the Eagles in any event. Rye numbers are showing up a little bit under the mud.
This is a power I formation. It's going off right guard, I'm sorry, and just power football. What you want to do is just try to find a little seam just to break it. There's no traction out there for these linemen, but I'm sure they love it. They know you really like to play this kind of weather.
Petrillo comes in motion. Burrows rolls out to the near side. Throws incomplete. Salvatore, the intended receiver again, but the ball a little high. Joe King and Mark Surhoff coming in to complete the play as it goes out of bounds incomplete.
Now he's sprinting out to the right. He sees his receiver. There's Mike. He goes up a little bit too high and he gets hit immediately in the back. Now, I like the linemen, in this kind of a game, you have the wet and you have the mud, you're rolling around. They like this kind of game. The linemen from Eastchester and Rye, probably this morning, they packed their lunch pail, they're all set. They go to the game. They say, Coach, okay, let's go. We got to go to work. This is it.
Oh, a timeout on the field taken by Eastchester. That's their second. They'll have one more remaining before the end of the half. 7:03 left to go. Let's take a look at some of the other games being played around Section 1 on a rainy weekend. Ramapo is over at New Rochelle. Unfortunately for the Purple Wave, it's homecoming for them. That'll put a damper on it. Big ball game this afternoon. Iona Prep at Mount St. Michael. And that one in the CHSFL playoffs. Scarsdale will be at White Plains. That's a big game. If the Raiders come up a winner there, they could clinch at least a tie for the League 7 championship. Amerenik is at Yorktown, Ardsley is at Pelham, Woodlands at Tappan Zee, and Croton is at Bronxville this afternoon. There are also 7 other games being played around Section 1 this afternoon. Edgemont is at Nanuet, Briarcliff is at Tuckahoe. We understand that Pleasantville has already beaten Rhinebeck, a game that took place at 11 o'clock this morning. The Panthers upsetting the Panthers. Pleasantville over Rhinebeck. Valhalla's at Dobbs, Irvington at Hastings, St. Agnes is at Stepanak on Sunday, and Hamden Hall and Rye Country Day. We'll try to get a score for you on that one. That game was played on Friday. 3rd down and 8 now for the Eagles. Burrows, again straight drop back. Good protection. Down the sidelines, has a receiver, incompletion. John DeAngelica again with the catch down to the right 28-yard line.
Driven out by Alex Wickland.
Here's a great pass by Butch Burrows. In the pocket, steps in, the ball's thrown. John DeAngelica really concentrating on the ball, comes up with a key reception.
30-yard pass completion, and the Eagles have their 3rd first down of the game, and it is at the right 28-yard line. 6:56 left to go, 2nd quarter. Eagles trail 6-0.
The passing game is working very well for Eastchester right now at this point.
Petrillo, or that's Mickey Morgan, pardon me, 24. He goes into motion, and the football goes to Robert Wooten, the fullback, and Wooten maybe a yard, not even. Right back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10. Surprised at how Eastchester is able to throw the football?
I am surprised because Rye's got a good defensive backfield. They cover well. What's happening? They're just giving a little bit too much space in between the receiver. Because what happens, if you're 4 or 5 yards away, then you're like playing, okay, let him catch it and I'll make the tackle. You got to stay a little bit closer to that receiver, take the gamble, and go up for the interception or knock it down.
Morgan again in motion. Burrows wants to put it up again, slips. Now he's in trouble, and down he goes. Roy Haney, number 70, with the sack. That is his 2nd, actually the team's 2nd, his 1st. And Haney brings the Eagles back to the 41.
Now Haney is 6'1", 250 pounds. There's a little slip by Butch Burrows. Here comes Haney, right there, right through. You have to block him, double team him. The double team, you got to keep him out of that offensive backfield.
Clock continues to roll, 5:35 left to go. 2nd quarter, Rye leads 6-0.
Too many guys! Too many guys!
And Eastchester's got trouble. They have too many men on the field, and they're going to have to take a timeout, and that will be their 3rd. So they have already used all 3 timeouts in the first half, and we'll hold it up with 5:25 left to go in the 2nd quarter. Take a look at the latest edition of the Cable 3 Sports High School Football Top 10. And since our attention this afternoon is turned to the small schools, that's what we will show you at this juncture of the game. Rye leading the way, our number 1 team among the small schools at 6-0-1. Right behind them, Portchester, also at 6-0-1. And that tie, strangely enough, right here at Nugent Stadium when Rye played Portchester and finished up in a 7-7 tie. Irvington is at number 3. They're unbeaten at 7-0. John Jay of Katona Lewisboro is at 4. Bronxville is at 5. Rhinebeck is 6, but we understand they've already been beaten this afternoon by Pleasantville. J.F. Kennedy is at 7. Dobbs Ferry is at 8. They'll be playing Hastings this afternoon. Byram Hills at 6-1, and leading League 7 so far in this, as we get towards the end of the season, is at number 9. And the Huskies of Harrison make their first appearance in the top 10, as they are at number 10. And we should mention that coming up at halftime this afternoon, Ray Karowski and I are going to take a look at both of the polls, see if we can narrow down the teams that may get down to Memorial Field the last couple of weeks in November.
That's right, John. They're going to have a meeting next Sunday?
Next Sunday.
Right.
The 16th to decide who will play who and where. 5:25 left. Third down and 22 for the Eagles. Burrows. Controlled rollout to the far side. Nobody there except for Garnets. Number 75, Nick Stavarides with the sack. Number 3 for the Garnet defense. And that brings the ball back to Eastchester territory. Well, they're going to spot it in Rye territory at the 49.
Here's Stavarides. He's got good speed. He sheds a blocker, comes right and makes a tackle. Joe, remember last year his brother Jimmy was the most valuable player in the bowl game. And I was talking to Nick just before the game, and he said his brother's in college studying electrical engineering.
Quick kick, quick kick.
Excellent in math.
There it is.
And again, the quick kick. Wooten. High kick. Chases Armis all the way back to his 10-yard line, and down he goes. Lost his footing as he tried to make the cut and come back up to the middle of the field. So Rye has been pinned back now. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. Clock is stopped with 4:37 left to go in the second quarter. We're coming up to the 4-minute warning. There you get a good look at Joe King. Been injured a couple of games during the season. Twisted an ankle earlier this year. And talking to Dino Gar during the pregame show, and he had mentioned that King is one of those guys who loves to play and will be here every Saturday no matter what.
Yeah, he's a talented athlete, and if he's 100% healthy, I don't know, but he is really playing well today.
Riebling wants to air this one out, and it's a complete and great one-handed grab. Mark Surhoff, number 9, brings it up to midfield.
One-handed catch. Now that's what you call total concentration looking at that ball. He just cushioned it, just like he was an outfielder in baseball, brought it right down, comes up with the reception, and they get out of bad field position.
33-yard pass completion, and now a whistle on the field as we have our 4-minute warning. We'll hold everything up here at Nugent Stadium, and when we return, Rye will have the lead 6-0, and we'll also have it 1st and 10 from their own construction flag. And we'll have to see if the coach is all right when the game is over. He's a tough one, though. I know he'll come back. Riebling throws it outside. Gillio turn the corner. Lots of blockers in front of him, and he brings it down to Eastchester territory at the 46-yard line. He'll be 2 yards shy of the first down step.
That's a pitch to the tailback right here. There's the pitch. Now he's got the blockers in front of him. There's some, he wants to get over him. He jumps up, and then he's tackled.
So Rye with a hurry-up offense.
Now, John, the interesting thing is you have Riebling, the quarterback, sophomore for Rye, sophomore quarterback for Eastchester, Butch Burrows. They're going to meet again next year and the year after.
Gillio again, same call. Blockers in front of him, and he brings it down to the 35-yard line, and that'll be good for another first down. 12-yard pickup.
They're running to the side of the field that they have the traction. They have the grass. Same play. There's the pitch. He's going to come right on that grass. Good. Get the blocking. Needs a little bit more blocking to break it loose.
3:05 and counting. Left to go, second quarter. Rye leads 6-0, looking for another score.
So you get on that grass, you can put your little juke moves on, stop and go.
Riebling, play action. Looks towards the sidelines. Incomplete. Looking for Mark Surhoff, but that one sailed out of bounds. And that will stop the clock now with 2:55 left.
Dry ball.
Okay, you have second down. Now, Eastchester's going to have to be careful defensively. They have to watch that side of the field that's dry, where they have the traction. Because they may come again with that power. You pull a guard and they start leading it and you start blocking to the inside. And then the tailback's going to go right on this good traction grass. And he may take it in.
Dino Gar, in his second season back as head coach of the Rye Garnets, an alum, graduated from Rye High School. And there's a quick pass, and Surhoff trying to make a cut to come back to the football. Lost his footing and went down, so that will go as an incompletion. And we'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Garnets.
So you want a dry ball. You got to keep that ball dry. You got to have a towel man on the sideline and wipe that ball dry all the time.
Might be able to see, I don't know, the cut. Well, you'll see there Surhoff at the end of the play go down. But the pass to the outside part, and Riebling a little too far ahead of it as Rye takes a timeout. That will be their second.
The Rye JV team, they beat Eastchester this morning 20-6.
There's John DiArco, former assistant football coach under the gentleman sitting right next to me in the heyday and glory days of the Eagle football program.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that because Coach Hancrow, that's Jerry Hancrow, he's the JV coach at Eastchester now. He did coach at Rye, and he was my JV coach also. And I know in 10 years I had 33 shutouts, and Jerry Hancrow in his 10 years had 38 shutouts with the JV team. But then again, we use the same defense. I said, you know, this is a good defense, and he's a great coach. He coached here at Rye under Bedini. And then now Bedini builds the little foundation. John Nugent comes by. He starts building the structure. And now Dino Gar, the tradition keeps going on. Nugent Stadium, you come here like John Nugent to Rye is like what Bear Bryant is to Alabama.
Very good analogy. You're absolutely right.
What a gentleman.
Oh, delightful man.
I really like John a lot. I coached against him. The year we won the bowl game, we tied 12-12. I have so much respect for him. What a gentleman.
From the 36-yard line, Riebling throws, completes it to Surhoff, and Surhoff is held right at the 25-yard line, and that'll be good for a first down. Pickup of 11 yards on the completion. Now, you might notice something there. Surhoff made the catch, and running down along the sidelines was Joe King. Watch later on in the game for that same play with the pitch.
Yeah, see Mark Surhoff, he runs out and then he puts his back to the defender and he just wants to be in front to catch the ball, and the ball comes right into his chest.
Armas goes in motion, but they give the football to Quinson, and Chris, the fullback, down to the 20-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 5 yards. Clock continues to roll, 2:24 left to go in the second quarter, and Rye again with a hurry-up offense.
Now, Eastchester's going to have to play tough defense, and when they make the tackle, get up slowly. Don't let them have it. Okay, they got rid of the ball there. But if Rye does run the ball and they make the tackle, you get up slowly, you know, chew off the clock, you know, get the time down because they're getting too close to that goal line. And in the back of your mind, you have to also think that Rye has the capability of kicking a field goal. And they also may have a fake off the field goal. So there's so many things that you have to keep in mind. And if the intensity is so strong and maybe a little nervousness on the Eastchester part, they may overreact and get caught.
3rd down and 5 now for the Garnets. The ball is at the Eastchester 20-yard line. 2:13 left to go in the first half. Riebling throws it outside. This is Joe King. Big hole opens up for King, and he's down to the 10-yard line.
You're on the 8-yard line.
They'll spot it at the 9, and that will be good for a first down, pickup of 11.
Okay, here's a sweep, like a Green Bay sweep. Everybody's going to the left, they're blocking. Beautiful run. You see, they don't want to run around or juke, they just want to go right through people.
1st and goal from the 9. King again. And he lowers his head and gets it down to the 5-yard line. Be a little shy of that, put it at the 6. Pickup of 4 yards for King.
Now, King's a hard, powerful, punishing runner. He sees somebody, he doesn't want to give him a little fake or anything. He just wants to go right through you. You see right here, he goes, whoa, wants to go right through people. And that was a good tackle right there. He's got to stay low, you know, wrap around the legs.
2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line. Quinson is the fullback, Gillio is the tailback. And this will be Sal Gillio, number 32. Looks for a hole up the middle of the field. Bounces off of a tackle, finds an opening, and goes in. Oh, another incredible individual effort by the tailback, but there is a penalty marker on the play. Jim Ritz talking it over with our referee, and the penalty is against Eastchester. It has declined the touchdown stands. 6-yard run with 1:19 to go, and here it is again.
Now here's Gasol right here. Watch his second effort. He's stopped, jammed up, comes out, maintains his foot speed, has his balance, gets into the end zone. You see the poise he has in the end zone? You know, he doesn't throw the ball, jam it down, spike it or anything. Gets right down on his knees, you know, blesses himself a little bit, but the important thing is he wanted to get into that goal line.
All right, Rye has taken there another timeout. This will be their 3rd and final timeout of the half. And I would imagine Dino Gar is going to set up for the 2-point conversion after he missed the extra point after the first touchdown. His team leads 12-0 with 1:19 remaining to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, Dino will go for the 2. Right here, it's very important. See, that ball, you have to also consider the ball is wet, it's slippery, and if you're going to go for an extra point, you're not going to do it in the middle of the field. You tell the official, you know, put on a hash mark, you know, to the right or to the left because of all the mud and the water. Then when the center does snap it, you know, the mud makes it like oil on the ball, it's slippery. Then the holder has to put it down correctly, and too many mistakes can happen. So right here, we'll go for 2, and hopefully that we can make it. That's what he's thinking. Now, Coach DiArco's out there with the Eastchester defense. He's telling them to stay low, you know, penetrate, don't let him find the seam. He's talking to the official there. Something's up.
All right, John will head back to the sidelines. Well, you can, I think if I'm hearing right, you can hear it, the sound of that slushing sound as they walk on the field. It's really wet. All right, the Garnets will go for 2. Leading 12-0. Armas is in motion. They fake it to him. Riebling still has it. Now he'll try to take it himself, and he gets in. So the sophomore quarterback with the 2-point conversion.
Not a bad call. Excellent call. He told Riebling, you know, I'm gonna have you throw the ball. There's a bootleg pass. You know, he's got the option now. Throw it, run it in. If you see daylight, take it. Just take it right in. You see the goal line, dive in. Now what he did, you know, by faking to the man coming around, it held the defensive backs. They can't cover man for man because they're coming in to make a tackle. Now he goes around. He can throw the pass. That's the one option, or he can run. So he sees a little daylight. He takes it in for the 2 points. Excellent call by Dino Gar. He's a field general out there, you know, like directing your troops in battle.
Coach Patton, maybe?
Yeah, you know, when you're not a football coach, you're a field general.
1:19 left to go in the second quarter with Rye leading Eastchester 14-0. The Garnets hoping to remain unbeaten. They have one more regular season game, and as we heard last year, that's the battle for all free world. It's Rye Harrison next week over at Harrison.
The granddaddy rivalry in the state of New York.
Well, the kick is off. Armas lost his shoe after he made the kick as the ball was taken by one of the up linemen, and he brings it back across the 40-yard line. So Armas is going to have to get his shoe back on. And Eastchester will have it 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. But remember, they have no timeouts remaining, and we have 1:15 left to play.
You're going to see the shoe right here. It almost goes farther than the ball. Now, here's the wedge right up the middle. You see that wedge? Of course, just like, you know, the wedges, you know, you're splitting wood. They're just jamming everything right up there and hoping that the back sees a little crease and to get through and to go in for the score. Now, don't forget, this pack-rat defense of Rye, they have a lot of pride. They only gave up 19 points. They're going to be in here playing tough and hard, mean, nasty football all afternoon.
Gabelli tries to sweep to the far side. As Eastchester keeps the ball on the ground, they don't have a way to stop the clock without going out of bounds. And a pick up of 4 yards for Gabelli. And it'll be 2nd down and 6. Clock still rolling down to 30 seconds left to play.
Ball's at the 48. 2nd down.
I think it's really the Rat Pack defense.
Rat Pack.
A Rat Pack.
Well,
And then when they get close to the goal line, then they bring in the Desert Rats.
Gabelli again. And Gabelli gets another 2 yards. And Eastchester trying to get back on the line of scrimmage, see if they can get one more play off before the end of the half. They're going to have to hustle. We're down to 5 seconds.
At midfield.
And they didn't make it. That's the end of the first half. Eastchester unable to get one more play off. Remember, they didn't have any timeouts left. But a pretty good first half. Eastchester's playing them tough, but the Garnets of Rye have the lead by a score of 14-0. In just a moment, Ray Karowski and I will be back as we're going to discuss the Section 1 bowl possibilities. We'll also take a look at the halftime tally and the scoring sheets when we return to Nugent Stadium right after this message.
Right in there.
3rd and 11 from the 31-yard line. This is Giglio again. Big hole opens up the middle, and Giglio gets down to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 6, but he will be way short of the first down. And it'll be 4th and 5 for Ryan.
Now on his play, they send the middle linebacker on a blitz, and he sent him to the opposite side. Julio went to his left, which there was a little seam. The crack was open. He picked up yardage.
So on the 4th down, Ryan will go for it. From the Eastchester 25-yard line. King now the tailback. Behind Quinson the fullback. Watch for the shift. There it is. Eastchester's not fooled. They remain on sides. And now Rye will run the play. They flip it out to King. He can't get a handle. And it's recovered by the Eagles. The pitch came out to King. He never got a hand on it. And Eastchester recovers and will have it 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
That's good pursuit, good hustle on Eastchester's part. There's the pitch right out of his hands. I can't see the number who came in there right after that ball.
So 2nd fumble of the day by the Garnets. 2nd turnover, and Eastchester in business now with 8:35 left to go. From their own 36. Morgan is in motion. Burrows throws it up way short. He was under heavy pressure from Gunnar Huber and got to him. And the pass fell in front of the intended receiver, Mike Salvatore.
Coach D'Arco's going to have to be definitely sure that that ball is dry. He has that ball boy over there. Make sure you dry that ball off very well before you bring it in.
All right, for the Eastchester Eagles on offense, Burrows is the quarterback, Wooten the fullback, Gabelli the tailback, Petrillo the halfback, and Joe Pinto is the split end. On the offensive line, Fruscillo, Falutico, Valentine, Kaplan, Papalardo, and Bill Sabatino, the tight end number 90. 2nd down and 10 from the 36-yard line. Burrow throws it outside. Gabelli wants to turn the corner, can't, as Tommy Armas is there, and with help from the rest of the defense, they drop him for a loss of 3 yards on the play. And speaking of the defense, here is how they set up with their 4-man front. Nick Stavarete, Scott Johnson, Roy Haney, and Gunnar Huber on the line. The outside line, or the middle linebackers, Tom Cottaspani. The 2 outside linebackers, Mark Surhoff and Tommy Armas. Mike Bach and Alex Wigland are the cornerbacks. The free safety is Quinson, and the strong safety, number 21, Colin Haney.
It's so hard to get to the outside perimeter against Fry, especially to Stravity's side. What he did, he feathered the play out very well, excellent. Gabelli couldn't get around him, and everybody else came in, pursued, and made the tackle.
3rd and 13. Gabelli again finds an opening around the far side and gets it up to the 40-yard line.
Up by Wicklund.
And Wicklund on the tackle. It will be 4th down. Pickup of 4 yards.
Here's a little counter. It's a fake to the fullback. Gabelli has it going over left tackle, going to the outside, and he's tackled. That defensive Fry is the rat pack defense. They come right at you, boy. You know, getting bit by rats. That's worse than like swarming bees coming to making a tackle. These bees will just sting you. They sting. But the rats, they'll bite.
Burrows comes up underneath the center on 4th down. There's the pitch to Wooten. And he gets the kick away. And Wooten was bumped. No flag as the ball goes out of bounds. And they'll spot it at the 39-yard line. And the call there with no flag when you get contact, that means that somebody got a hand on the football.
Yeah, he must have gotten his fingertip on the ball. I don't know how he didn't block it. He was right there. Now here's the pitch, now look at it, he's right on top of him. See, the man went for the punter instead of going where the ball was going to be kicked. That's what you have to do. It's about a yard in front of that foot. If he would have just dove or put his hands up in front of the punter, he would have blocked that kick.
6:55 remaining to play, 3rd quarter. Rye again with the football. They lead 14-0, have it 1st and 10 at their own 39. Surhoff is the wide receiver to the near side. They go right up the middle, Chris Quinson. And Quinson, good second effort, gets him 4 very tough yards. Make it 5 as he'll bring it up to the 44-yard line.
Now they're in the power I right formation right up the middle. See how he got bounced there a little bit, trying to find that seam? The opening picks up the 4 tough yards.
Stay in, Hooter. 195.
2nd down and 5.
Now, for Eastchester, you got to be careful if you're going to blitz those linebackers, because once they get past the line of scrimmage, they're going to lose that traction going right or left.
Burrows little corner route, completes it. Tommy Armas, and Armas is forced out of bounds at the Eastchester 46-yard line. That'll be good for another first down. A pickup of 10 yards on the pass.
You see, Rye's throwing these passes into the flat. There's the pass right there. It's in the flat, down the sideline, picking up yardage. They're very successful. Now, what Dino Gar is doing, you know, he might even send a man in motion to see if Eastchester is playing man for man or if they're playing zone. And if they're playing man for man, and then he can use Armas to get to the outside into that flat, you know, he'll be open.
Surhoff now split to the top of the screen, and this time up the middle they go. And getting the football, Jerome Kenny, number 42. And that's just the second carry of the day for Kenny, again for 1 yard. So he now has 2 yards rushing.
Now here they're gonna go. There's a little trap play. You see number 60 pulling out of his guard position and trapping. Then you have Sabatino, Papalardo, and Valentino in there on a tackle. Now, Eastchester's tough from tackle to tackle, you know, picking up those yards. If they blitz and they go to the wrong side and then Rye runs a trap play up the middle, that's where they pick up their 10, 12 yards. Just gonna have to stay home and play good, tough, hard football.
Second down and 9. Riebling again looks to throw across the middle, and it's completed to Surhoff. And Surhoff goes down for another first down at the Eastchester 33-yard line.
See, now Eastchester, it looks like they're playing man-for-man defense. So Surhoff is just going to run out there, drive his man back, turn around, and boom, the ball comes right to him. Now, the defensive man is going to back off because he doesn't know if Surhoff's going to continue going on straight down like a fly pattern. So now he creates a big distance, like a pocket, marked, stops there, turns around, and the ball's thrown right to his chest.
Of course, that's the advantage on a day like this. The receiver knows where he's going, and the defender doesn't.
Exactly.
And that handoff to Jerome Kenny. And Kenny spins, finally hits the wet turf for another 1 yard gain.
Now there he's going right. They're spinning. He's tagged by the leg, you know, he's wrapped around the leg, but again, it's the traction. You really can't dig. In weather like this years ago, coaches would put mud cleats on the ball players. They'd take the old cleats off. The mud cleats were about 1.25 inches longer so they could dig in deeper into that mud.
Here's Joe King. Across the 30-yard line. And King down to the 28. Wright continues this drive, pick up of 5 yards on the play.
Now here they're going right to the left side again. There's King, good power. He wants to run over people. They're running to the left when they run. Defensively, you might want to overshift a little bit, you know, bring over a linebacker to that side or just shift the linebackers down because they're coming to that side where they have the good traction and stop them there in that grass.
Joe King, get on the sweep. Breaks away from a tackle, is very close to another first down across the 25. Looks like they're going to spot it at about the 24, and we are going to have our first measurement of the day.
Now here's the pitch again. Here's King running. He's got his blockers in front of him. They're pulling, and they do have that traction. I keep saying it, and you know, it's so obvious. That's where you want to run. You can't run in the middle of the field. You know, there might be an inch of water there. The mud is definitely there. So what you're going to have to do defensively is if you're in a 5-3, just move the 3 linebackers over a little bit, even if it's a half of a man or even a full man.
There you get a great look from Pat Burke down on the field, how close the Garnets came to the first down stake. And about a half a yard shy, so it will be 4th and less than 1 now for Rye. 3:52 left to go, third quarter. Garnets lead 14-0.
Now you have to give Tom Maloney, he's the coach of the quarterbacks, the receivers. He's doing a great job coaching. You know, he got a sophomore quarterback, and then John Antonuccia, who's the defensive coordinator. He's in charge of that Rat Pack defense that only allowed 19 points the whole season. Tremendous coaching job. You know, I talked to Dino Gar about the coaching staff, and he said that we're all on one wavelength. We know what each other is looking for and what we need, what we want. It's just like, you know, just go out and do your job.
Riebling with the quarterback keeper, and it is good enough for the first down as he gets 2 yards. That's the first carry for him, except for the 2-point conversion.
Now here's Steve right here, just straight ahead. Now Steve, don't stand up, stay low. Stay low and keep those legs pumping like pistons.
First down, number 8 for the Garnets, who are rolling here in the third quarter. Ball control offense from Dino Gar and his crew.
Now, I hope the defense of Eastchester is not getting tired because they got to get tough, like nails down here.
Here's Giglio. Down to the 19-yard line. Pickup of 2.
Stopped at the Eastchester 19.5.
Eastchester's doing the right thing. Now, here's Giglio right there. See that? See the tackle? The tackle's made right in the legs. That's what you have to do. You don't want to get shoulder pad to shoulder pad. You don't want to, you know, wrap around his waist or his hips because those legs are moving. They're pumping. Make the tackle on the legs. That was well done last play.
73 yards rushing for Giglio in the ball game. It's 2nd down and 8. Yeah, there's a squeaky clean uniform that's gotten to the ball game. I believe that's Jerome Kenny, number 42.
Boy, John,
number 41 making the carry. That's Scott Newman.
Boy, John,
he gets his first entrance into the ball game.
Yeah, John, I just wanted to say, excuse me, but I just saw a beautiful block out there by Mark Weintraub, number 74 for Rye. Boy, did he, I can't see any numbers or anything, but he just blew the defensive man of Eastchester back, and then he knocked down another guy.
6-yard pickup for Newman. And number 42, Jerome Kenny with the call, and I don't think he got anything there. Stacked up right at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that was Jimmy Scanlon on that tackle. Nice job there. Nice.
How do you know that?
I could tell because he's in my class. I can tell the way he's standing right there. Beautiful tackle by Jimmy. He's going to be a good linebacker next year. He's got a lot of desire, good leadership qualities. He's hungry to play the game.
No gain on the play. 4th and 5. Make it 4th and 4. Armas in motion. Riebling still has it. Plenty of time. Throws across the middle. Incomplete.
Riebling's pass incomplete.
And that will bring the ball back to the Eastchester Eagles. So a drive for Rye that began with 6:58 left in the third quarter and at the 39-yard line stops at the 15-yard line with 1:39 left.
This is a bootleg pass. He saw a man open there, but he just did not have the footing. You have to plant and step forward. Eastchester rose to the occasion that time, and they stopped Rye on a tremendous drive.
Timeout on the field taken by the Eagles. They're first here in the second half. They'll have 2 more remaining. 1:39 left to go in quarter number 3, and the Garnets lead the Eagles by a score of 14-0. Let's once again take a look. All right, we'll do that. The top 10s on the small school poll, and as we told you, you're watching our number 1 team. Have been so for the last 3 weeks. The Garnets at 6-0-1, followed by the Rams of Portchester at 6-0-1 as well, ranked number 2. Irvington is at 3, John Jay 4, Bronxville is at 5, Rhinebeck 6. But we told you earlier that Rhinebeck has already been beaten by Pleasantville earlier this morning. J.F. Kennedy is at 7. They're taking on Peekskill today. Dobbs Ferry has a home game against Valhalla. Byram Hills is at Beacon today, and Harrison will be playing Westlake. The Huskies making an appearance in the top 10 at number 10. So Eastchester brings the ball up 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line with 1:39 left to go. Third quarter. Burrow, the quarterback, Gabelli, number 40, gets the call. And Gabelli is close to the 20-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 19, a pickup of 4.
Right off tackle, and John Antonucci, he's the defensive coordinator, and he's telling those guys, you know, you got to have a little, I don't think he would be telling them you got to have a little pride. They know that out there. They don't want anyone to score, you know, today's game, next week's game, or even the bowl game. They have a lot of pride out there. They're the rat pack. They'll run at you. They'll gang tackle. They'll do everything. You know, you're playing against the best defensive team in Section 1.
There's Gabelli again. And the defensive line wraps him up in a hurry. Gabelli right back to the line of scrimmage at the 19-yard line. And from there, it'll be 3rd and 7.
Now, here's Matt Gabelli running. Just tackled immediately right there, trying to get to the outside. Now, you got to be careful here, you know, Eastchester. You can't throw anything into the flat because if there's a little delay or a little slip of the ball, and it may be picked off by a defender from Rye, and they're so close to the goal line, he could take it in.
All right, that's the end of the third quarter here at Nugent Stadium with the score. It remains Rye 14, Eastchester nothing. We'll return. The Eagles will have the football, but deep in their territory when we come back here to Cable 3. From their own 19-yard line, and Burrows on the rollout. Throws towards the sidelines, and it is incomplete. Looking for Gabelli, I believe, as his intended receiver out of the backfield, and he threw that one away out of bounds, and it will bring up a 4th down. Well, Eastchester has had the football twice here in the second half. One possession in the third quarter, and now one possession here in the fourth quarter, or part of the fourth quarter. And they're going to have to kick it away again.
Yeah, well, what's happening, Rye, when they get the ball, they have a good running game. They have power. They're driving it down. They're maintaining control of the ball, picking up first downs.
All right, watch for the pitch. Here it comes. Wooten gets it, rushes on, and the ball is partially blocked. No, penalty marker on the play. Now, that one, I thought that Rye got a hand on it as the ball came spinning off of the foot of Wooten. And the penalty marker came right down immediately.
Now the official's right there. He must have just missed the ball. The official was standing right there. He did not see it.
And it is a 15-yard call against Rye. But more important, it gives Eastchester the first down. And they retain possession of the football at their own 34-yard line. And now, once again, Dino Garr is going to go out onto the field and get a ruling as Rye takes their first timeout.
Dino Garr is going to have to be a little careful because I think the official's reaching for the back pocket. He may throw a flag on him.
Roughing the kicker was the call. Oh, good to have Fellini directing our game this afternoon. 11:59 left to go. So you see the complete story. 14-0 the score. Rye leading Eastchester. The Garnets unbeaten in their last 17 ball games, looking for their second straight undefeated season. Oh, God. Our man from Yorktown wants to know who Fellini is. If I'm not mistaken, he was champion milker at the Yorktown Grange Fair earlier this year, I think. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know it.
So the timeout taken by Coach Garr as he is hustled back to the sidelines. And Rye will have it 1st and 10, or pardon me, Eastchester will have it 1st and 10 from their own 40 and get the 33-yard line. They're the Eastchester cheerleaders. We told you they have braved the weather, and they are here as well.
I see Kathy Leah there. She's in my volleyball class.
You teach
Your way,
yeah, it's co-ed.
What a job.
Yeah.
1st and 10. Burrow will give it to Gabelli. And Gabelli gets 1 yard up to the 35-yard line. You can see very difficult to distinguish the numbers for Eastchester. Those jerseys just decimated now.
That's an isolation play. You can see the first back coming up now. He's supposed to block the linebacker, and then the back will run. But the defensive line for Rye, they're closing the gap. There are no seams, no holes. They're just jamming everything up.
Clock continues to roll. 11 minutes left to play in the ball game. Rye leads 14-0. 2nd down and 9 for the Eagles. Gabelli, nothing there at all. Oh, was he stacked up in a real hurry, leading the charge. William Disbrow, number 50, with help from Nick Stavarades, number 75.
Oh, they are hitting out there. You hear that leather popping, cracking and smacking. They're going right at him.
So a loss of 1 brings it back to the original line of scrimmage, where it will be 3rd and 10.
You see, the secret right here is that offensive line of Eastchester. They got to get down, and they got to beat the right defensive line off the ball. They have to explode out. That's why you're always hitting the sled every day in practice, that 7-man sled. You get the linemen down and explode out. On the explosion, that sled should jump a couple of feet off the ground or the field and 5 yards back, and you get the linemen down again and just keep exploding. You have to beat the defensive line off the ball. Now, Conversely, you want to do the same thing with the defensive line. You get those linemen down, and they want to explode out into the offensive man, and so that they get driven back, so you form a new line of scrimmage. Then it stops the running game of the offense.
Timeout taken again by Eastchester. That is their second, so they are down to 1 left the remainder of this game. And they have a very big play facing them. 3rd down and 10. And you see Dino Gar back as the head coach. Was a head coach here at Rye a few years ago, then went over to Westlake and was very successful with the Wildcats program. Got him a bowl victory back in 1984.
He had an undefeated season at Westlake, and last year an undefeated season at Rye.
So he's looking for his 3rd in a row.
Double the other side, Hooter.
All right, Mickey Morgan comes in motion. Burrows, straight drop back. Blitz is on. Little screen pass, and it's incomplete. Looking for Gabelli, and that one just floated up into the air, dangerously close to Gunnar Huber, who almost had an opportunity to pick that one off.
That was Chris Quinson coming in, number 44, that applied the pressure on Butch Burrows, the Eastchester quarterback. And Butch just had to let that ball go immediately. He did not have enough time to plant and really throw it accurately to the receiver.
So the clock stopped now with the incompletion. 10:19 left, 4th quarter. Ryan leads 14-0. John Carrillo along with Ray Karowski and the entire Cable 3 sports team bringing you another game of the week.
Quick kick.
All right, again, we'll look for the quick kick. You get a good look at Wooten. He'll get the football. And this one off the side of his foot. And will go out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. They'll spot it right at the 46. So Ryan will get it back again, 1st and 10 in pretty good field position. 10-10 left to go in the ball game.
Now Eastchester's going to have to stop a drive of Rye to get back into this ball game. Here's the quick kick.
Joey, get in, Joey.
Trying to be blocked. It goes out of bounds. That's not a bad strategy, doing a quick kick on both teams, because the ball has to go back 12 yards from the center if you line up on a regular punt, and there's always the possibility of the ball being squirted loose and creating a fumble.
Riebling looking deep for King, and he overthrew it. Good coverage by the Eagles secondary. They were right all over Joe King, and that'll be an incomplete pass and bring up 2nd and 10.
Okay, now on that play, Joe King was going down. He was covered man for man. Now Dino Gar knows that Eastchester's playing a man-for-man coverage. So, you know, whatever he wants to do, whatever his scheme is offensively, he may send someone over across the middle, and he may be open.
And a penalty marker all over the field before the snap. That means somebody was lined up in the neutral zone. And it is again, it's Eastchester, 5-yard offsides penalty. Just their 3rd of the day for 25 yards total. But it'll bring up 2nd down and 5 now as the ball comes to the Eastchester side of the 50-yard line.
Now right here, I wouldn't be surprised if Rye runs to the right, because they have the grass, good footing, good traction. They can pull a guard, you know, lead the blocking up, and come right here to this side.
All right, Joe King comes split out to the near side. Riebling looking his way and throws it short, intended for King. And again, another incompletion. And that basically a case of Riebling unable to get sure footing and kind of slipped as he released the football. And a little short, so it'll be 3rd and 5.
See, I don't like the pass here in this situation, because the quarterback's dropping back in mud, and you have to be on balance. You have to be so when you could come right up on your toes and back down without moving your foot like a step, you know, forward or sideways. You have to have and step up into the pocket and get that ball accurate. You have to stay to the running game, basic football right here.
Giglio with the pitch, gets good block. Whoa, what a pop put there. You got a good listen to that as they ran right past our cameraman, Pat Burke. And Giglio up to the 46-yard line, but Eastchester in a hurry stops him short of the 1st down.
Boy, there was some popping. Watch this, boom, right there. You can hear the leather and the helmet.
Great balance he has.
Yeah, he's got good feet. He keeps him moving, got cat-like balance. You know, maybe when he was a kid, he used to walk on a railroad track all the time, you know, develop that balance, or the high beam in gym class or something. They might have a very good phys ed program here.
4th and 1. Giglio has the first down, streaks down the sidelines, and finally pulled out of bounds inside the 35.
See, they're running to the right. They're running to the good traction. They have good footing here. And they're pulling that guard. They're getting the block. Look at the guard's pull. See the guard pull? Now they're turning. They're looking to the inside for a block. There's Giglio. Look at him run. They can't even. He won't go down. He's just determined to stay on his feet.
91 yards rushing now.
They got to push him out of bounds.
The senior tailback, Sal Giglio. 5'8", 160 pounds, and it is 1st and 10 for the Garnets. Giglio again, this time he's tripped up in the backfield, and looks like he was able to get up to the first down stake, but Giglio is down.
That was good penetration there by the defensive line. Got right in the offensive backfield. See, that may be Jose Valentin right here. Watch how he got right in there. See how he got in? And Giglio just tripped right over him. He put his arm up.
And came down kind of funny, maybe on his shoulder. But it looks like now maybe just a case of getting the wind knocked out of him. He did come right back on his back. So as you can see, he's coming off under his own power. We're going to see him a little later on. No gain on the play. It is 2nd down and 10 with 9:14 left to go in the ball game. Rye leads 14-0. A 1-yard touchdown run by Joe King with 4 seconds left in the first quarter. And then Sal Giglio on a 6-yard TD run with 1:19 left to play in the second quarter. And that's all the scoring we've had. And getting the call, number 41, Scott Newman, who comes in for Giglio.
Scott Newman is only a sophomore, and he runs with determination and power also. Is he going to be a good one? Watch Scott right here. He gets the pitch. He has the ball close to the sideline. Boom, he puts his head down. Gets knocked out of bounds.
Pick up 4 yards. 3rd down and 6 now for the Garnets. Under 8 minutes remaining to play.
You see, they're running to this side. They're running to this side. They're running to the side that has the good traction. Move those linebackers. Shift them over here to this side.
Riebling, play action, throws, and is completed to Tommy Armas. Cuts it back inside and goes down close to the 10-yard line. They'll spot it at the 12.
See, if they're not running to the side, they're throwing to that side.
13-yard pass completion.
Now watch Armas on a nice pass right there. Good reception. Armas is going to the goal line. Boom, he gets hit from the side. Armas was a starter last year. He knows what it is to win. He's a winner. He was that bowl game. Was an excellent game last year against John Jay.
And motion all over the offensive line. And that almost looked like a case of everybody knowing the snap count except for the center, Brian O'Mara. And the call is against Rye. 5-yard penalty.
Now here's where Eastchester's defense is going to have to rise to the occasion here. Now, you know, you have to have a little pride here. You know, don't let them score, go in down. Rye's doing a good job. Ball control, they're moving the ball, they're getting their first downs, they're mixing it up, they're running a one pass here and there. But again, the defense has to rise to the occasion.
1st and 15 for the Garnets. Riebling gives the football to Newman. It's loose and the Eagles have recovered. Turnover number 3 by the Garnets, their 3rd fumble. And Eastchester has picked it up, so they stopped the Rye drive. There you see the tail end of it.
And that was Jose Valentin that got the fumble. Jose's playing in the Rye offense. He's penetrating very well. He comes up with the fumble. And then that's where Eastchester rose to the occasion, right there. The fumble was there. They caused it. They recovered it. Jose Valentin. You know, his brother's only a sophomore, Dan Valentin, and he's starting as an end for Hackley, an undefeated team. You have one brother at Eastchester, the other at Hackley, and they're both starters.
Well, the Eagles have to get something started in a hurry. Get back into this ball game. They trail by 14 points. 8:20 remaining to play. They have it 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. How'd you like to put your hands and body in that? Takes a certain breed to play football. Mickey Morgan in motion. Again, the ball is loose. And they're going to have to get down to the bottom of the pile to figure out who has this one. Burrow never had it off the snap. And it looked like Burrow fell right back on it. So Eastchester will hold on to the football. A loss on the play inside or right at the 15-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
Now Jim Scanlon's at center. He just came in there. There it is. He never got the ball up to Butch, the quarterback. He just came in for that one play because Valentine had to go out. Now he's back in. Valentine's at center now.
2nd and 12. Butch Burrows, sophomore quarterback for the Eagles. And again loses the football. But again, Eagles able to fall on it, but they're going backwards. It's now down to the 11-yard line. Another loss on the play.
They were right through Butch's hands and almost hit him in the stomach, and the ball popped out. Now, way before I said Jim Scanlon was the middle linebacker, but I just saw him come in. His jersey's pretty clean. I'm not sure who is playing middle linebacker now for the Eastchester defense. I wish we can see the numbers.
Clock is rolling, 7 minutes remaining to play. There's your score, 14-0. King and Giglio with the 2 right touchdowns in the ball game. DeAngelica comes split to the near side. Mickey Morgan goes to the top of the screen. 3rd and 16, Burrows in trouble at the goal line, and he is down at the 1-yard line. He was just able to get back out of the end zone and save the safety. But that is 3 straight plays where the Eagles have gone backwards and will now have to kick it away from their own end zone.
And kick it away they're going to have to do immediately because they does not have enough room back there. He only has like 10 yards. As soon as he gets that ball, he's going to just have to kick it.
And Rye is going to get it back in excellent field position. Incidentally, that was the 4th sack registered by the Garnets defense in the ball game.
Timeout.
Eastchester has to take it, and that is their 3rd and final timeout here in the second half. 6:16 left to go in the ball game with Eastchester trailing Rye 14-0.
Now they're going to really have to block. The offensive line of Eastchester is going to have to block because there's a lot of pressure on that punter. If that Rye defense really comes hard, it could cause a lot of problems down here.
Now what about, let's talk a little bit about Rye, though it looks like they will come up a winner in this ball game. Run their record to 7-0-1. Have to play Harrison next week over at the Huskies home field. That'll be at the junior high school. For Rye, we know about that game, that Rye-Harrison game. You throw all the records out of the window and anything could happen. Harrison, however, has really turned their season around and has played very well over the last 4 weeks of the season. After that one, Rye probably will go to a bowl game.
Right.
Their offense has been so tremendous all season long, and you have to give credit to the offensive line for that. But the running backs that they brought in, they've got to be in excellent shape.
Oh, definitely. I mean, not only in shape, but they're power runners. They're really strong. But I'm more impressed with their defense. Their defense is excellent.
Wooten gets the ball, and the kick is away. It's very high, but very short. And a fair catch taken for him. That'll be a penalty. Somebody leveled number 87, Ricky Lehman, who made the catch. And he made it at about the 10-yard line, and then after the hit, personal foul call to go against the Eagles.
Okay, here's the punt. Now, this is good coaching right here. Dino Guard tells him, always catch the ball on the fly, and that's exactly what he did. He signaled for a fair catch, caught it on the fly. You don't want that ball to bounce around because it may hit someone in the leg. It's a live ball. Eastchester jumps on it, then it's theirs. You know, they're always catching the ball on the fly. They're not, I like that. I mean, that's good coaching, and the team is disciplined, and they're coming through. Catching that ball on the fly is so important, and everybody has to realize that.
So a personal foul call against the Eagles. It's half the distance to the goal. So it ends up being a 5-yard penalty, but Rye has it 1st and goal from the Eagles' 6-yard line. And we've got a new quarterback in the ball game. And a whole bunch of new runners. Scott Newman, number 41, gets the call. In at quarterback now number 12, and that is Richard Mascali. He is a junior.
Now, if I was Eastchester's defense right now, I would say watch Scott Newman. I'd key on him. I'd get the linebackers wherever he goes. He's only a sophomore. He can prove that he's a good hard runner. And that's the man to watch right now, Scott Newman, number 41.
5:25 left to go.
I would key 2 linebackers and go right at him.
Mascali now in at quarterback for the Garnets. And gives it to Newman again. Newman got the opening and is in.
He's only a sophomore. I was at practice on Thursday watching. I was behind the defense when they were running plays, and Scott Newman was running. Man, he really missiled through one of those, a little crease in a line, and he was coming like at me, and I had to back off like 5 yards because he couldn't slow up. I said, this guy's a good runner, and he said he's only a sophomore. I says, he's got 2 more years.
All right, Joe King in to attempt the extra point. He missed his only attempt. They snap it right to him. Slips away from a tackle, throws it into the end zone where it is intercepted. But being the 2-point conversion, he has nowhere to go.
That just kills the play, that's it.
So the 2-point conversion is no good. That looked like a design play. That one was snapped right into the belly.
Directly. But Eastchester covered the receiver. He was well covered.
So with 5:14 left to go in the ball game, the Garnets of Rye leading Eastchester by a score of 20-0. And as Ray mentioned, all game long, we're watching the most prolific defensive team in Section 1 perform this afternoon, and they're living up to all expectations. Have only given up 19 points this season in their 7 previous games, and are looking for another shutout.
Yeah, and I call them the Rat Pack. I hope that they're not, you know.
Well, they had that moniker last year, and I believe they're still using it this year, the Junkyard Dogs.
Oh, no, the Rat Pack is
like
better.
That better?
Yeah, because, you know, they're faster, they're quicker, they do right at you, they scare you. And then when they get near the goal line, when a team gets near the goal line, they bring in the Desert Rats. You know, these guys are the ones that are like experts. They're like, you know, the Green Berets, so that they got to cover every guy man for man. They got to, you know, protect that goal line.
Well, you've covered every branch of the service so far this afternoon. All right, ball loose on the field, picked up by the Eagles. Now they may get something out of this. Finally run out of bounds across the 35 up to the 37-yard line. Again, we apologize. We just cannot tell who has the ball for Eastchester, as the numbers were gone after the second series of today's game. The Eagles came in with white uniforms and red numbers, and they were immediately disappeared.
You know, I'm going to have to ask Dino Gar. I hope he's not offended if I call his defense the Rat Pack, but to me, it's devastating. They react well, they read, they pursue, they make a tackle, not one guy, not two, not three, like 4 or 5. You know, they don't sting you, they bite you, they put the hurt on you. It's like if you're on the offense for the other team, you say, hey, I don't want that ball, I don't want to go into that Rat Pack.
Burrow, straight drop back. Throws it across the middle, and it is intercepted.
Good defense.
Number 87 making the interception, that's Ricky Lehman. And that is turnover number 2 against the Eagles.
Here's Butch Burrows, it's a straight drop back pass. He slipped there. He just slipped and that ball was underthrown. Nice interception. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys around that ball. You see how the ball draws a crowd? They just come right to it.
You're in.
4:40 left to go in the ball game. Rye has it right back, 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. As you can see, Dino Gar is giving some of his backup players a lot of playing time, a lot of clean jerseys for Rye out there this afternoon. They give the ball to Newman, and he's tackled in the backfield by the Eagles defense. And a whistle on the field as the 4-minute warning now will be issued to both sides with our score, Rye 14, or make that Rye 20, and Eastchester nothing. We'll return to Nugent Stadium with the final 4 minutes of the ball game right after this message. Eagles defense, and Rye sets up shop once again. Again, the new quarterback, Richard Mascali, number 12, the junior. And again, it'll be Scott Newman, number 41, and he is brought down again for another loss. And the Eagles defense starting to come alive here against the second stringers of the Rye offense.
They're not giving up. Eastchester's hanging in there. They're staying. They're fighting to the bitter end. And you got to give everyone credit. You know, win or lose, the Rye ball players, the Eastchester ball players, I mean, the guys are coming out. They're playing football. And the football players are the youth of America, the cream of the crop. I have a lot of respect for these ball players, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. You know, you don't hang your head. You know, just show a little character, come back, and be tough for the next week.
3rd and 16 is what Ryan was working on that last carry. And handling the chore there, Jerome Kenny, number 42. No gain, back to the line of scrimmage, and it will be 4th down and 16 for the Garnets, and they will punt the football away with 2:55 left to go.
You know, John, you notice in the game there was a lot of hard hitting. You know, like that to me is like violence. You know, the collision, and then you see them huddling up all the time. And the analogy is that football is so closely related to modern society. You have violence and committee meetings all the time. You know, you go to see someone. Oh, he's in conference committee meeting.
They pitch it back to Newman, who shows he can punt as well. Fielded by Eastchester at the 30-yard line as the penalty marker goes down. It could be an illegal block against the Eagles.
Out of bounds at the 40. Given out by Ray Delacroix.
So we'll check out the marker. Eastchester will get the football. It is an illegal block, a clip against the Eagles. We'll take a look now at the receiver. And I believe, of course, this is just a guess on our part, but that looks to be Matt Gabelli, who made the catch, but the clip against the Eagles, 15-yard penalty, and Eastchester will have one more shot at it. It will be 1st and 10 now from the 19-yard line. 2:26 left to go. Let's send Ray Karowski down to the field, get set for our post-game show, where we will have head coach Dino Gar and our Cable 3 MVP Sal Giglio. 91 yards rushing and a touchdown.
Move back, motion. What are you doing that close with him?
1st and 10 from the 19-yard line.
Double him,
Burrow
Sean.
brings Morgan in motion. Drops back to pass, throws, and it's incomplete. Having a lot of trouble just getting a handle on the football. It's real wet, and where the ball is settled is a big puddle right down there. So that stops the clock with 2:01 left. Fog is rolling in, not raining nearly as hard as it was at the ballgame, if it is raining at all right now. But sloppy conditions.
Loosen up. Frankie, double over here.
Burrows with a 2nd and 10. Again looks to throw. Looks down the sidelines, and it's knocked away. Nice defensive play made by Ricky Lehman to knock that football away. And again, that will stop the clock with 1:55 left to go. Take a look, and you'll see Lehman dropping right in front. Here it is. Good coverage there. The ball floating up, and the receiver had to stay right there waiting for it to come back to him. And that allowed Lehman time to get back and knock the pass away. So the clock stopped, 1:55 left. 3rd and 10 now for the Eagles. Rye leading 20-0. From the 19-yard line. Burrow, 3rd straight attempt. Protection breaks down. He's got to run out of the pocket, and down he goes. Sack number 5 by the Garnet defense. And the ball comes back to the 11-yard line. And it will be 4th down. See if we can get 42 making the sack. Jerome Kenny. He's having a pretty good ball game himself.
4th and 19.
So 4th and 19. Eastchester will be forced to punt it away. The clock continues to roll. 1:15 left to play. Robert Wooten standing at his own 3-yard line. He'll get the pitch from Burrow. Here it comes. rushes on, he has to fake it, and down he goes. Never had a chance to get it away. Number 24 in a real hurry, Mike Bach, coming up to drop Wooten back at the 5-yard line. So the Garnets will have it first and goal from there. You can see a big rush, and Wooten had no opportunity to kick the football. So Rye will have it first and goal from the Eastchester 5 with 50 seconds left to play. Scampering back in now, Richard Miscali. And there's a whistle and a penalty, a delay of game call against the Garnets.
Where's the ball?
Well, that'll move the ball back to the 11-yard line, where it'll be first and goal from there.
5-yard penalty, delay the game.
Well, a 5-yard call against the Garnets. Clock will hold until the start of the play with 37 seconds left. Right up the middle, and Scott Newman, or number 42, Jerome Kenny, for the Garnets, virtually untouched, right up the middle of the field, an 11-yard touchdown run. 11-yard touchdown run, Jerome Kenny, his first TD of the ball game. And Joe King will come in to attempt the extra point. King so far this season with 22 extra points on the year. He's missed the only one he's attempted in the ball game today, that on the first touchdown. Snap comes down to Armis, King with the boot, and it is up and over. So with 33 seconds left in the ball game, Rye has opened up their advantage now to a score of 27-0. Once again, a reminder, coming up next week, we will be at Irvington to watch the Bulldogs play host to the Bronxville Broncos on the final regular season game of the Cable 3 high school football game of the week. And then the week after that, we'll be down at Memorial Field in Mount Vernon to start the Section 1 Bowl Championships. And of course, we're going to have Dino Gar as our guest this Tuesday night on Extra Points, which begins at 7:30. And hopefully we'll have Sal Giglio on the program as well. The Rye will kick the football away, now leading 27-0. There's the newest member of our all haircut team. I don't know, I got Bernie Miller sitting right next to me. I don't know, Bernie, you guys, I think it's time for the ADs to start cutting their hairs like that. You look pretty good, don't you think? They're getting ready for the Harrison game. All right, kick is away. It's a short one. Fumble on the turf. Eastchester picks it up and will go down at the 35-yard line. So the Eagles get it there, 1st and 10 with just 28 seconds left to play. Eastchester has already used all 3 of their timeouts. And I would imagine that John DiArco will be content just to put this one in the books. Been a rough season for the Eagles. 3-4 on the year, about to drop to 3-5. But with the injuries and the lack of numbers that they have had to work with, have to be impressed that they are able to come up with 3 wins. They'll have one more game remaining before the season will come to an end. Burrows wants to throw. Airs it out down the field, and it's intercepted. Picked off for Rye by John Mosia, number 33, and the ball game has come to an end. So the Garnets indeed improved to 7-0-1 on the season with an impressive defensive showing here this afternoon, defeating the Eagles.